Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to speak of the WWE 2018 Money in the Bank predictions. Redesigning my channel, make it more like me. That's a quick rundown. Now we're going to get straight into it. Are my predictions for Money in the Bank 2018. Please hit the red button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when I'm going live. So you can join the conversation. We'll have a lot of fun. I will be discussing other topics and sharing them. So please help me out. If you want me to go to your page and like and subscribe, got no problem doing it. No problem at all. All right. So let's get right into these predictions. I'm usually pretty good at predicting these things. I've been watching wrestling since the 80s. The only thing I watch more than wrestling is UFC. I'm pretty good at picking those predictions too. I will not be watching UFC 225 because my wife and I are going to see the Paranormal Circus on June 16th. Got to save back some money for that, unless, just hold back some money. We've already got tickets for the Paranormal Circus, and it's Horror Circus around Florida, around Tampa. I'll do a review of that, post pictures, video if I'm able to take any outside of the tent, but can't have anything inside the tent, obviously. So now let's stop the rambling and get into these predictions. All right, here we go. First off, we have Carmella versus Asuka. I don't see them taking the belt off Carmella. I could be wrong. We could get a bunch of title switches, but I think they're going to drag this one out, and that's they're going to set up the Money in the Bank winner on the women's side, whoever it is, to dethrone Carmella. I don't know if they're going to wait a long time or if it's going to be immediate. So look for Carmella to win, unless they want a big showdown with Asuka and whoever the Money in the Bank winner is. All right, let's move on. Next, we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. I watched SmackDown. They set up the last man standing. Pretty much Nakamura laid out AJ Styles, although I don't think that Nakamura is going to get the belt. I think AJ will retain and move on. It's a good feud, but I don't think that WWE has any faith in Nakamura being champion. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. If this were in Japan, we would probably get what we all wanted. But I just don't see it. I think AJ's going to retain in the last man standing. Point blank. All right. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Next, we have Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey. I would be very surprised, even though they're doing this whole Nia Jax challenged Ronda Rousey bit. I would be very surprised if the belt does not go on Ronda Rousey because they want to make her a megastar because of her UFC career. They want everybody to forget about Amanda Nunes and what she did to Ronda Rousey. And Ronda Rousey pretty much just went through the motions and got her face smashed in. But now WWE is looking to capitalize off of the UFC. They want to see Ronda Rousey versus Natty. They want to see Ronda Rousey versus whoever. And they want to put over that armbar as something dangerous, because normally the armbar has not been too dangerous. You had the cross armbreaker with Del Rio, but it didn't really have that much of an impact that people really expected. So now, since they got a legit athlete, they want to put over Rousey and they want to put over the armbar. So Ronda Rousey will become, against all odds, the new Raw Women's Champion. And I will tune in to see how many of my picks are right and wrong. And I will do a review of WWE Money in the Bank afterwards. Next time I'm live, you guys can come into the chat, discuss whatever. You don't just have to discuss WWE. You can discuss TNA. You can discuss New Japan. You can discuss ROH for all I care, because I'm in Florida. I really don't have a whole lot to watch besides the E. So if you want to make things more interesting and everything, we can do that. I would have to watch ROH via YouTube, I believe, and get into that. But I digress. Let's move on to the next prediction. Okay, so we have the men's Money in the Bank, Strowman, and Strowman is a heavy favorite. Other people that could take it over and give you the swerve are Kevin Owens and The Miz. I would really look forward to The Miz being the dark horse and the wild card and winning the whole thing. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Strowman's going to be a wrecking ball, and he's finally going to get the Money in the Bank. And then, depending on how WWE wants to go about it, we could possibly be seeing Strowman versus Lashley. But if Lashley cashes in on Brock, he ain't going to lose. We already know this. So let's keep our fingers crossed for Strowman. And Kevin Owens or a Miz win would not be the end of the world either. So let's move on to the women's Money in the Bank match. For the women's Money in the Bank match, I'm picking Ember Moon. She's the one on the Raw roster that needs to make it impact. And an Ember Moon Ronda Rousey feud would be terrific. So let's cross our fingers that happens. If Ember Moon doesn't win, you have Charlotte or Becky Lynch. Either of those two could win. Fine by me. But I'm going for Ember Moon. So let's go for the next prediction. Okay, so apparently we also have Kevin Owens versus. We have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. I got to go with Rollins. He's on a roll. Owens will try to cheat his way to victory, but you're not really going to see that. It'll backfire, and Rollins will keep the belt. Rollins will retain, and Kevin Owens will try every underhanded technique in the book to try to win the men's Money in the Bank. But unfortunately, I just don't see him as being the Swerve to win. Other matches, possible. Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos. Bludgeon Brothers will win. They're the only thing that's going on SmackDown that's interesting. So let me look for any final matches so we can get these predictions on a roll. All right, it looks like that's it. So after they finalize the women's Money in the Bank match, we'll again like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and my next upload, my next live upload we'll be discussing Elvis and his karate. I'm going to do a little bit of research on that. The reason that I'm going to do that is for most of you that don't know, my grandfather went to school with Elvis, and he knows more about Elvis than the normal person would. And when he was 19, he also worked for NASA, got to meet all the famous astronauts before they were famous. Excuse me, nose itches, which is pretty cool to have roots like that. So I'm going to do a little research on Elvis and his karate from when he started training in 58 all the way to, I think it was 1974. And the reason I'm going to do this is because when I study Passeru, which is what Elvis studied in the 70s, around 72, I believe, he started that. But he had 20 years of experience before in the Army. And when Kangri, who teaches Passeru, and he's, up in age now, he's unclosed his school, and his students around the Mid-South and also Colorado, and his students that are branched out, they teach the system. This system is not in Florida. I'm learning for self-defense only. Got his instructional DVD, kata, punches, the whole 9 yards. Like I said, for self-defense. So I love it. It's a style or a form that's designed. If somebody is bigger and stronger than you, you can cut them down to size. It also has knife and gun defense. It also teaches that if you're going to do weapon disarms, that you do not want to give a weapon back in practice, because that conditions you to give that back. Give a weapon back to the intruder in a live situation. So that's very much something that we do not want to do and we want to avoid. So that is a very good conditioning tool when you're training. So I'll see you on the next upload. I will be discussing the Elvis and his karate background. And we'll go over, I don't think you can really call Elvis a fraud, or how he was taught or who taught him a fraud. He was around people that they may consider in some circles great or not so great. I'll have to get we'll have to get those in the next comments. But thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being patient. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream now. So comment, subscribe, hit notifications, and let me know your predictions even if they're different from mine. Let me know your predictions. Do you think, because I'm going to be quite honest, Backlash sucked so bad. Do you think Money in the Bank is going to be better, or is it just going to be another run of the mill? Money in the Bank pay per view is usually a little bit better. It can get it can get pretty substandard, but usually they try to keep it as a surprise, and usually the finishes are shit too, but they try to improve it on Money in the Bank. So with that said, everybody have a good day, great year. If you're a martial artist, be smart. If you word of advice on that too, you never want to say somebody's art is no good, because it's not in your hands. If you want it to be in your hands, find a way to go train and learn it. If you don't want to learn it, it's not your thing, great. But as martial artists, and Pasaru, it translates to way of honor. If we're going to be honorable, we need to be honorable and weed out the bullshit from the honorable. This has been a production from David Francis, and I've got a few nicknames. Excuse me. If you're on PS4, catch me Public, and it's spelled Publik X. It's not Publix, Public X, and then Outlaw. It's my PS. That's my gamer tag. So you may see some GTA or other video games, Street Fighter 5 live. You may hear me, being me. I rage sometimes, but if I'm gonna go live or upload, I'll try not to do that. My favorite fighter is Ken. You're not gonna beat me, and if you do beat me, I'm gonna use Ken until I beat you. And I love Mortal Kombat too. I'm not as good at the online Mortal Kombat because you people are insane and you don't let nobody do no competition. All right, kind of rambling on about other topics in my next upload. So enjoy. Have a good night. Any questions? Any comments? Any topics you want me to discuss? I will discuss them. I'm going to try to stay away from Mr. Charlie Zelenoff because Troll TV, Milo, everybody else that I go to on the channels has him subscribed. And, the guy's a fucking clown. And there's really not much more to say than that. So I will not be doing the Zelenoff bit. everybody else that's making money, making fun of him, be my guest. I gotta try to get views and income different way. Just a quick note before I go. I saw a video when I was on Facebook from Bullshit Martial Arts. And Mr. Frank W. Dukes, who is a fraud. You might know him from making the movie Bloodsport and choreographing and doing fight choreography for the movie. And if you were 13, it might have been cool. Kind of have a soft spot for the movie because at one time, people just didn't know that he was bullshitting around. And those little captions at the end, based on the life of, there's a lot of movies that are based on true stories that are bullshit. They're maybe 10% true, and the rest is thematics, dramatization, because that's how it works in Hollywood. But Mr. Fake, Mr. Fake Ninja is talking about, I could present a belt. You know, either if I could present a belt, either a championship belt to show what a fraud this guy was, or if I could present a rank belt that represented bullshit and lies for 30 years, I would present it to this guy happily. I hope he opens this gym in Las Vegas just so I can make it a point to go there and expose his bullshit. But he, like anybody else, could watch this video and bar my ass from showing up. But the guy has done it to himself. He puts out videos, talks about himself, and the organization he belongs to advertised in comic books. I mean, if you can't see past that, there's something wrong with you. You can't belong to all this make-believe shit and defraud the public. The last time I checked, that was against the law. But here I go ranting and rambling, and have added 10 minutes onto this video I did not want to add. But I just wanted to let everybody know that if you are in the Las Vegas area, go learn at a UFC gym. Stay away from Mr. Dukes. You're not going to learn anything. You learn how to make stuff up as you go. If you were going to do that, you could do that for free. But you don't. You don't learn from an accomplished bullshit artist. the main point I'm trying to make. So, words of wisdom. This has gone on for too long. It was supposed to be about Money in the Bank predictions, and I got off on a tangent after I went to discussing my next video. So I will hope to have some graphics, something a little bit better for you in the next video. Pictures. So I hope you all enjoy. Sorry for the rambling. All right, later.